Talks.
Welcome, everybody, to another session of Go Movie Talks. This is your host. Well, we're both hosts. Freddy, as you already know, and my dear Maria Laura. How are you doing today, Maria Laura?
Great. I'm doing great. It's been quite a week, as usual, but everything everything great. Everything great.
Been quite a year, and we're still in January 2026.
And it,
So,
yeah, no, it's been only 3 weeks.
it looks 2026. Don't tell me now. It's already failing.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's that kind of years that begins with a lot to make a book, you know?
Look, after 2025, I just look, I'm just jumping straight to, off the cliff. Whatever happens, happens. I'm tired of expecting good things every year anymore. I'm done with that. Yeah.
And
Mm-mm.
talking about that, this is actually pretty related to the movie in question. So, the name of the movie of today's movie is Ballad of a Small Player, okay? And it's a hot take because this movie is from very recent. I think it's 2025 and it's on Netflix. So you don't have any excuse not to watch the movie, people. It's already there and it's fantastic. So, Freddy, tell us about this movie. Did you like it? You didn't like it? Tell us everything about that.
It has its up and downs. I ended up liking it, but I think I ended up liking the idea
Mhm.
of what it wanted to be. I'm not so sure if it accomplished it because I liked it more after I did some research. Not so much like when I first finished watching it, I I I was flat. I was not super in love with it. But then uh, I mean, for instance, I liked the fact that it went very deep with uh local beliefs in it's not in Hong Kong. What's the name of the area where it
Macau.
was recorded? Macau, exactly.
Mhm. Yeah.
So it went very deep into that, but that I'm not gonna say somehow, but I did. Okay, this is the background of the movie. It's based off a book written by somebody that speaks English because the name is very uh, Anglo-Saxon. But uh, the book references or his perception on Macau's local beliefs.
Mhm.
So to me, it's many different perspectives about something that I think I would have enjoyed being told by somebody local. So that's why it felt to me. I won't call it cultural appropriation because I think it's very clearly from his perspective, like as an outsider, how he perceives
Yeah.
it. So I don't see the problem with it. Um, but I felt it could have been told better because without me doing that research, I don't think I would have understood the message that wanted to be told. Because to me, the story ended up one way after I did the research. Is this is
Yeah.
what they wanted to say.
I had read a couple of things about Macau and how it is well known as a very particular city, very similar to Las Vegas in the United States. And people from all over the world, they travel to bet, to gamble, etc., etc. And apart from that, something interesting outside the topic of a movie is that it's Macau was a Portuguese. It comes from Portuguese origins. So many people there, curiously speaking, they speak Portuguese, and that's actually one of the official languages. But I
Which
mean,
explains the name, because that name, I think it's Portuguese derived.
exactly. One expects something like, I don't know, whatever in Chinese, you know. But Macau sounds like sounds weird, okay? And I mean, let's contextualize the viewers first within a little bit of explanation about what the movie is all about, okay? There is this guy who is a gambler, and he clearly has a problem with it, and the movie shows it from the very beginning that this guy definitely is sick of, gambling all the time. I mean,
He's an addict. Yeah, he's
he's an addict.
yeah.
Exactly, exactly. So, the levels of desperation of this guy go in crescendo from beginning to end. Okay. Obviously, because when you're an addict, it's not about the money, it's about the activity, okay? This guy needed to continue to gamble because that's the only way he felt some sort of peace with himself, okay? Or he felt at ease, okay? Now, the movie is clearly centered on this guy, okay? I don't think there is too much development on the rest of the characters, even though, for example, there's Tilda Swinton playing I think it's a journalist. And there's, this Chinese woman, Dao Mei, I guess it's her name.
The name of the character. Yes.
The name of the character, exactly. And there is the old grandma, okay, who actually doesn't reveal her name just because, her
It's
beliefs
what
and
she
all that.
represents. It's what she represents. It's not so much. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. But at some point in the movie, one of the characters says that she doesn't like talking about her name. She doesn't like telling her name, okay?
That's a millionaire, right? The multimillionaire.
Exactly, the
Yeah,
multi-millionaire.
exactly. I think that's also the most
Yeah.
important thing about her.
And the woman who never loses any of the games, I mean, every time she bets, she plays safe and with a lot of confidence. It's like at some point, this woman knows she's gonna win, okay? But she actually knows. I mean, it doesn't come from the guts. It comes from her confidence, okay? So, okay. There are all these characters that could have been developed in such a way that, you can actually, I mean, the director could have actually squeezed these characters a little bit. Okay? What?
That's where I think I'm not gonna say I think the movie purposely leaves that unthreaded, because the at the very center of the movie, and you already said it, is the fact that the guy the movie just centers around him, period. Every other character services his story. So developing the other characters would have at some point shown, quote unquote, the reality. Let's remember that and you can interpret this very differently. This is something that I actually very much appreciated about the movie. You could say it's ambiguous because it's not necessarily super clear what
Exactly.
ends up happening. I don't know, and this happens at the very beginning. This character unalives himself in a dream, or in a sequence that could be interpreted as a dream.
Mm-hmm.
So there are just from that very beginning of the movie, because this happens very early on, and I think it happens at least twice. It may have happened multiple times.
Mhm.
You as a viewer can interpret, okay, something ended here. We know what we're saying. And then anything afterwards, it's the spirit, this guy, condemned.
Yes.
But this is very much rooted in Macau's beliefs, which is
Exactly.
explained very briefly
Uh-huh.
by Ming Dao. So, Dao Ming, yeah.
Actually, I'm not quite sure if it's Ming Dao, Dao Ming, but
No, no,
whatever.
no.
It's a Chinese
It's
name.
no, no, no. It's Dao Ming.
Okay, okay. Dao.
Um. So no, no, you were right. I'm the one just saying it around. So that to me is what I wish could have been explained a little further. That what the movie is rooted on, because it is explored. Yes, it is mentioned, but not to the point where I think it is. It doesn't have to be clear to the viewer. Let's face it. This is not. I'm not promoting to have a clearer story,
Mhm.
but I would say to lean stronger towards it, because at the end of the day, you really have multiple interpretations of when the character, if the character unalived himself or not. That's one,
Mhm.
and second, um, what what we're seeing, because that's also a cycle where you could say at some point the character, I think he reaches his breaking point.
Yes,
Um,
yes. I
like
mean,
another possible point where we're not shown he's unalive, he unalives himself, but when he starts just winning, like all of that, um
rush.
I will call it journey, all of that journey to get to that point, you could also say it's a journey through, I don't know, let's say that realization journey of your power or what you need to change. And from there, once you actually are determined on how to atone for your past sins during your life, that's the journey that he starts, like when he sets on that journey of, hey, I need to get the money to repay back because I did a lot of wrong throughout my entire life. And at least I want to make it up to Dao Ming, to uh, the
Woman he robbed, the old lady he
Tilda,
robbed.
Tilda Swinton's character, which again, she was a journalist. She was collecting a debt collector, a lawyer, whatever. So all of those steps, you have different points to enjoy it. So that's very beautiful about the theme. Visually speaking, it's also a delight. The movie will keep you engaged from beginning to end.
Yeah,
That is not a problem.
absolutely. Yes.
However, I agree with you that it's sad that some characters were not further developed because they were very interesting. For instance, Tilda Swinton's character, as always, to me, whenever she showed up on screen, she captured my attention. She's so grounded. And the tease at the very end of him and Colin Farrell dancing, it's like, oh, why are you doing this to me? I wish this had officially been somewhat in the movie, but again, it's beautiful as it is.
Yes.
I liked it. It's open to a lot of interpretation and discussion, which to me it has it's very beautiful in itself. But at the same time, okay, you as a viewer, but did you actually enjoy it? Because that's my opinion. You recommended it to me, so I knew I was gonna get enjoyment out of it. But I feel this is the same situation as the Holy Mountain for me. I needed more background,
Yeah,
and that was not
absolutely.
provided in the movie. So I enjoyed it more after I did my research.
Yeah. But it's to me it was totally the opposite. The first time I watched it, it's like, okay, this is in Macau, China. In China, there's a whole, vision of spiritual things and all that. So, but to me, it was like, okay, this is probably a typical, tale. among, gamblers in this city and all that. I mean, I felt like that. Okay, that's the
What
reason
was the
why.
name of the character? He was how was he called? The word in Cantonese, I imagine. I don't know what Chinese language they were using it. The word of the lost soul, the the foreigner that was there. I don't remember the word, but I
I don't
actually like
remember either. I
I
don't
don't remember
remember
it either.
either. But yes, I mean it's I felt it came from something rooted, culturally rooted. Like, okay, this is about this city within this context. So, and there is this guy who is apparently British, and has these encounters with particular people on his way. Okay. Something I particularly got touched by was the fact that I don't know, I felt really sensitive with the fact that this guy was extremely despair. Obviously, because many of us have felt despair at some point in our lives. Talking about this week, for example. But apart from that, it's the fact that the movie pretty well portrays the, the two things separated. One thing is to be addicted to something, and one thing is to be the person who you are. Okay? And I really liked the way it was separated. Okay? Because this guy, even though his life was miserable because of this addiction, okay, and even though he had, all that quantity of redundant money over his bed, at some point, this guy demonstrated that he wasn't a bad person, He just wanted to pay back. He just had a feeling among this his addiction. And he was lucky to find this ghost, because again, he had this gut feeling. This is not something that happens to every gambler, okay? I mean, imagine if it was like that, all of us would be lottery winners, for example, okay? But apart from that, is the fact that, okay, once he got lucky, instead of, splurging, instead of whatever, thinking about himself or doing something else with the money, he just wanted to pay back. Okay. And at some point, as I said before, to redeem himself from the sins, okay, or from the struggles he had throughout his life. Again, he's miserable, okay? I don't take that away from the character, but that part was particularly, touching for me.
Uh, I believe the character changed only because he found um only because of Dao Ming's. That to me is what I think made the difference. He had a purpose beyond. Uh, I mean, he didn't do it for himself, which is very beautiful in itself as well, because that means you didn't change for yourself, but rather to be able to be with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
um, or because of the promise you made to somebody else, not even for yourself. So that to me, it's also very beautiful, and I think that is very much communicated regardless of the reality of what happens to the character. Um, but yes, I don't know. I agree with you that the tension was very much well built, but I will say it, the whole journey to the other area in China, that to me uh slowed down the pace a little bit, which it was on purpose,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I was not expecting that slow pace at that moment. So
Yeah.
it So that to me, I don't know, the rhythm of the movie or whatever just did not feel right. Um, and I'm a sucker for pretty visuals, like the comparison of that rudimentary area versus the city, the Las Vegas like city. It I prefer just the visuals that we were showing earlier on, and I wish those that intimacy could have been reached within that same space. I don't know. That's just me. Possibly, I'm not saying it's negative. That's already a matter of taste. I'm not saying it was ill made because this is honestly whatever you prefer. But that's something I personally would have preferred. Uh, I don't see any problems with it per se, but to me, that's how it felt.
And you know, if she was a phantom, how the hell did he get to that lake in the middle of nowhere, you know?
Exactly.
It's like,
I asked myself that part. Like, okay, this lady who's at that point was already a ghost. How did you get there? Did she guide you there? And again, that's also that could also be explained. That may have been exactly the point of her apparitions to guide him to reassess himself. So I get it. I'm not questioning it, and I insist that's also why it's important to know
exactly.
the stories, because that way you will understand, oh, okay, so this is exactly what happens. You have a guiding ghost that shows you how to do these things. And for instance, I sadly, for better or worse, I'm better versed in Japanese culture. So when I encounter these kind of stories in Japanese media, video games, movies, I'm well acquainted to it. So I know, oh, okay, this is a play on whatever myth or whatever with China. I'm sorry, I wish I knew more. So that's what irked me, and that's on me. So I will say that.
No,
As a
no.
viewer, I wish I could have known more, and that kind of spoiled the experience for me, because after I did some research, is oh, this is what they meant. But look,
Oh,
that
but
that's not the directors or writers either, because that just speaks to my ignorance.
no, no, no. But take putting the myth aside and you know, grabbing the movie as the subject in question, yes, there is some point in which you kind of slow the
I
pace. Yeah?
No, no, exactly. The
That
slow down part, that
and
to me, it felt
yeah,
I
yeah.
felt it as a viewer. Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah,
say it's the best movie I've seen. Obviously not. I mean, I don't feel that excitement I felt for other movies, for
yeah.
example. Okay. But I wouldn't say it's a bad movie either.
No,
I mean, I found
and
it quite cool. And the topic, I mean, it's about a gambler and it's a different way to portray a gambler, okay? Because usually these figures are portrayed in movies, in action movies where there are gangsters and there are bad people, you know, after the money and all that. No, totally the opposite. I mean, this guy had this problem and he was surrounded by these particular women. Okay. And actually, they are the ones that move a little bit the
you're
situation.
misleading me, because yeah, I was gonna say, oh right, all other characters were female. No, the friend, no, the British friend. Yeah,
Exactly.
you were
Yes,
misleading me.
yeah,
Like, oh no,
exactly. And actually, these British friends, he comes back and plays a match with him and all that. And, but again, it was the women who decided, for example, the journalist decided to give him an opportunity. The girls went after him because, she found this lost soul in the middle of the game. And the grandma, she was grandma and she always wins.
I I actually think grandma is more like it what could be called as the devil, because based off everything that we had seen, she was the ultimate test. If you play with me, you know you're gonna lose.
Exactly.
Are you
Yeah,
still on? Are you really gonna say no to this? And
exactly.
that's when that to me is what closed the cycle. Because in
Yes.
real life, probably that character, I don't know if she cheated, possibly, because being that confident and knowing you're gonna win, to me that's already prearranged. So
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
in real life, that's probably how she was, but already in the context of him atoning for everything that he had done, that was the ultimate test. Are
Yes.
you actually not gonna bet here with me? Okay, no, you're free to go. And that's the last exchange they made, right? Because he had already beat his friend,
Yes.
and then she went with the Asian old lady.
And
And
well, she was also the connection with Dao Ming, and eventually someone had to tell this character, "Hey, she's dead." So
which is also uh, props to the movie for it. That I think that's when they actually show these scenes of her not being present in multiple stages of the
exactly.
movie. So this is
Yeah,
finally when the movie reveals, okay, she's not. I'm not gonna say she
she was
had died.
never there. Actually, she was just,
No, but she was.
decorating.
She was not there in the half, like the beginning of not the beginning, but like halfway through the movies. Remember when he got the heart attack? That's it's
Ah,
starting there. She was not there because at the beginning she was. She existed. But
yes.
that's the thing. We don't actually know what happened. She said she had died, which is possible, or she had disappeared. I don't remember which of the two. No, she had unalived herself during the festival. Yes, I
Okay.
remember now. Exactly. So her possibly her soul went back and helped him guide him through the rest of his atonement. But again, multiple interpretations because that's the other thing. The unalive scenes from Colin Farrell's character that should also be taken into account at some point. You could say this happened. You don't know.
Exactly. And his acting is really good as always. Again, not my favorite, but it's good, And
Yeah.
the something I really like about some movies is when they make these very close shots, that you can see everything, the sweat and the skin, and that's I really like it, and there's too much of that in this movie. Okay.
I will say with Colin Farrell, he's an actor that I love to hate him and I hate to love because I love him in these kind of characters. He, I love him when he's just goofy and you could tell he's just letting go. When he's in action roles, I really cannot care any less for him. But I think it might be because of the movie he chooses, like the movie characters in action roles. Like to me, it's like you're really not grasping me at any point. But with this movie in particular, I found it so captivating. I loved the levels because I again, like you said, those close shots require a lot of dynamism from the actor, and he was just all up for it. And
Yeah.
I do feel that Tilda Swinton's character, they made chemistry on screen. So I was really, I'm not gonna say sad, but I wished there had been more scenes of them together. So that spoil at the end, like you knew
Yeah.
that dance at the end is they should have incorporated this somewhere in the movie. This is
I found it quite cool.
it was cool. It was cool, but I really like when I saw it is I compare that dance to the Poor Things dance scene between Mark Ruffalo and Emma Stone. To me, that's how it felt. That dance meant something, and it could have been shown in the movie at some point. So leaving it for the credits, it was a disservice to the movie itself, in my opinion. I really wish it would have been part of the
But
actual movie. But
even the credits were cool. I mean, all the
Everything, no,
visuals
everything.
and the
Stylistically
arrangements and all
speaking,
that.
stylistically speaking, it's got a very clear identity. It
Yes,
does.
yes, it does. Yes, it does. Well, Freddy, such is life and such is the way we have to
Decline.
end up this episode.
All right, viewers, don't be gambling. Or if you're a gambler, let us know in
No.
the comments below.
No, don't drop the comments, drop the numbers. If you win, drop the numbers.
Yes, tell us
Yeah.
the lottery
Or the
numbers.
technique, or the magic trick behind it.
Uh,
Okay, that'll be so interesting to know. Remember, people, please give us a like, give us your heart, okay? Subscribe, comment, and I'm missing one. Share, okay? Share. And
Share, like, subscribe, drop your
exactly,
comments.
exactly. And watch the movie. Watch the movie. It's on Netflix
Yes,
and
it's
it's pretty fresh.
sadly, it is not. Look, Netflix, you have to pay us because we're making publicity to you. But definitely watch it. I insist, every movie is worth watching at least once. So please pay your dues and watch it.
Yeah. Whether you like it or not.
But that's afterwards for you to decide. You should not judge a
Exactly.
book by the cover. It's same with
That's a
movies.
that's a post-production decision. Whatever you do before is just watch and see, feel, or don't feel anything. It's
It's fair.
part
Yeah.
of the experience. Okay? Absolutely. Well, people, this is it for today. Thank you so much for being here. 150 something subscribers. We would like to get to know your comments, your impressions on the movie, and well, take good care of yourself and your money, please. Okay?
If you want to waste it, just send it to us, please. We'll take it.
We pretty well receive it. We're not gonna get angry at you, okay? Thank you so much, people. Bye bye.
Thanks for watching. Go Movie Talks.